Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Giants struggled a week ago, falling back to 500 on the season. But today they'll have a chance to correct that. It's the Vikings going up against the Giants.
All right, Larry, thanks. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Let's go. Brand 38.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And now here's a carry heading left. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. 14 yards that time for number 14. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got it at the 15. And that one results in 35 yards. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 18-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. This is Lamar Miller. And right away, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So 5 yards remain now, still first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Let's go! Ohio! Here we go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And they're going to get it. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Looking to throw. Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings. This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Come on, let's go!
They'll set up a throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And Forbath will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
All right, here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. That one goes for 24 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, But you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A first down carry now for Miller. Gets around him. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Green 39.
They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. But the reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now they try the right side here. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. The Vikings on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
Let's go! Ohio! Ohio! Black round! Black round! Ohio! 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 Ohio!
They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Forbath will put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New York set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, and that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for the Giants. 51 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's third down. They're going to look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Being chased out left. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. New York set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Here we go now.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. Sorry, Larry. Your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
After the penalty, it's Miller. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Now back to throw. And running with power here toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's third down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
They'll drop to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here's Jacob Shum now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Back to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Still in search of the first down after that last completion.
Here we go!
And he finds Cook. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Come on, let's go!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now Forbath for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The Giants on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4.
Now let's go. Boom, landed. Boom, landed.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. You start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And here is the punter, Shum, as he sends this one away. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! Brand 38!
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Let's go!
And the wideout in motion. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score, and the Falcons have moved out in front. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ben Gideon leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
The Giants on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Jacob Shum now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league,
Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. New York set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Gets it to Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Looking to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Linval Joseph breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. The Giants on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
He'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. On the carry, it's Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
3rd and 4. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Let's go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here we go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. And that one all Packers right now. They've scored again. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Dancing to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Here we go now. 3, 9, 10.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaq Thompson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Set. 3-19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They're going to look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Watch 32. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
The Giants on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Blue 90. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Set. Green.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.